We're in Lent, and during this season of Lent, the pictures and the images we'll be looking at are those that remind us mostly of Jesus and his passion the last week of his life. And today we look at a couple of pictures that have to do with the agony in the garden. Remember the story? Jesus has celebrated the Last Supper with his disciples. He's gone down into the valley and up the other side of a small mountain into a garden, an olive grove called Mount of Olives. And there, suddenly it overwhelms him, the realization of what's about to happen, that he's about to suffer and die. And he goes aside to pray, and he brings Peter and James and John to a special place with him, and he asks them to stop and watch and pray while he prays. Of course, you know the story. They fall asleep, and Jesus prays, and he's so overwhelmed with what's about to happen to him that St. Luke says in his gospel that he bleeds sweat. But then he receives consolation from the Father, and he says, Father, if this can pass from me, let it be. If not, let thy will be done. The first picture we have is a picture from the Spanish artist El Greco around the year 1590. And notice that the light makes Jesus the focus of the picture. Certainly the first thing that hits our eyes is Jesus. And facing Jesus is the Comforter, the angel that the God has sent to comfort him. Notice the angel is at least as big as Jesus, so you have a sense that there is a great love for God that is reaching out to Jesus as he goes through this painful moment in his life. But notice in the darkness in the front of the picture, there they are asleep, the three friends of Jesus, Peter, James, and John, aware of the drama that's going on behind them. It reminds us of our own selves, of our own unawareness sometimes, of the sufferings of Jesus, not just the sufferings of Jesus in the past, but the sufferings of Jesus as they go on in our world today, in his brothers and his sisters. The second picture is very different. It's from about 100 years earlier, from 1490, by the artist Giovanni Bellini. Notice how, first of all, it's much brighter. The picture is Jesus. Yes, we see the two disciples sleeping, but Jesus is not facing them. Jesus is looking off into the distance. And what does he see? First of all, notice you can just about make it out, but at the top of the picture, you see the form of the angel. So it's the consolation that God is giving him. But what is the consolation? Well, notice the landscape, that there's a river and there is a road going back and forth. And just to the left of the figure of Jesus, you see the soldiers and the different policemen coming to take him. But as you look into the future, perhaps Jesus is seeing more than just what's happening then. On the top of the hill is a tree, off in the distance. And perhaps that's suggesting the crucifixion, that Jesus will die on the cross. And then beyond that is the white dawn of the resurrection. So in this picture, it's Jesus not only going through his suffering, but Jesus also seeing the future and the ultimate victory that he will have. And the final picture we have is a picture of someone submitted to us. It's a picture of a different kind of garden. It's a picture of a park in Ireland. It says something else, that Jesus suffered in his garden, but that in places that are peaceful and beautiful, as this one is, that we can also find peace. That in situations where we're facing difficulty, we're in pain or difficulty as Jesus is, to be in a place of peace is to receive the comfort that Jesus received from his Father, the comfort that helps us to carry on.